Welcome to Family, Culture, and Kingdom podcast with host Matt Hazelwood, and this is my beautiful, lovely co-host Jasmine Hazelwood.
Hey everyone.
We are a family of 5. We have 3 beautiful children, and we are so blessed and honored to be in this space of being in youth development for the past 10 years. One thing's for sure, God has blessed us with an abundance of knowledge and information. Although we don't know it all, we're still learning. But we felt the need to bring a podcast to share some of the principles that we've learned over the years that we felt to be very effective in this culture contrary to kingdom principles. One thing's for sure, we're going to blend these 3 things together and we're going to have a great time doing it. So like, subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned in to Family, Culture, Kingdom, presented by Reach Youth LLC. Thanks. One of the things that has been a big miss and one of the biggest challenges that families deal with on a day-to-day basis is shaping the worldview of their children. And if you ask me, I've been in youth development for about 10 years now, and every year I'm in the classroom, in the public system, the private schools, charter schools, all different types of school systems. And one thing's for sure is the worldview in which the youth today see things is completely different. And each generation has their challenges. One thing about this generation is everything is right now available with media and with culture and with the access and ability for technology. And one of the challenges that parents face is, okay, how can we shape our children to be good young men and women and productive members in society? That's the first step. See, as Christians, we go beyond, because now it's like, how do we shape our children to be young men of God, young women of God? And that is all based on our worldview that is developed in growth. And as our kids grow, our worldview is being shaped. And our worldview also plays a big factor on decision-making, choices. How do we factor in all these different pieces? You know, we want to break that down with you these next few sessions, and we're going to really dig into this in detail. But I really want to get this over to the star of the show, and I want my wife to start talking. And Jay, break this down a little bit. What is your perspective? Talk about homeschool, talk about anything, and just break it down.
Thanks, Boo. Everything that he was saying, it was so good. Talking about family, how important we play in the role of our children's lives. We have such an impact, whether it be positive or negative. We have such an impact and major influence on our children, on our communities, with people that we come across with on a day-to-day basis. For one, making sure that we ourselves as adults are always holding ourselves accountable. What really brought us to wanting to even do a podcast was when we really started understanding the culture of the pulse of the youth, especially with Matthew going out into the schools and talking to the kids and just a lot of the things that they're experiencing in today's culture, which is a lot different than, what our age group experienced. That really ignited some fire in us and some passion for these young kids. But then it also introduced a way that we could provide a different opportunity for educating our own children. We have 3 kids under the age of 8, and 2 of them are officially being homeschooled right now. And one of the things that we absolutely love about homeschooling is you can flex it to your own child's desire of how they want to learn. You can make everything a learning experience. And through our homeschooling adventures that we've had, we were presented with the opportunity to be able to participate in teaching in our co-op that we meet at every week. And that's how the Beautiful Me program was created. It's a program for all girls, but it's basically teaching, where I have the ability to teach something I'm passionate about, which is cosmetology. I absolutely love the industry, been involved in it since I was in high school. When we became parents, a few years later, decided that, I wasn't going to work So that was a challenging time, but the interesting thing with the co-op is that it presents an opportunity for parents to really teach something that they're passionate about. So one night, just in prayer, God was just telling me, hey, maybe you should just teach a class that you're passionate about to young girls. And I had really seen some fruits of that just with being with our own two kids, our own two daughters, where they would grab my mannequin heads and they're like, "Ooh, I want to try a braid," or "Ooh, I want to try a hairstyle," or they would want to try a hairstyle on me. And I noticed that they really enjoyed it. That's how Beautiful Me came about. So it's basically a program. Right now it's a 10-week program where we teach young girls about, just how to be confident in themselves and how to understand their beauty and their identity through how God tells them. Every week we have a scripture that we talk about, and along with the scripture we have a practical skill. So some of the practical skills that we may introduce and actually do in the class would be something like hairstyling, braiding, learning about color theory and how to mix colors, and when you mix certain colors together it creates this color, and that's actually how you would create formulas for creating hair color. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I think that throughout this podcast, you'll be hearing a lot of our endeavors, what our family of 5 is doing, and how we're growing, and just kind of how, in our view, what we're seeing and what things work, what things that you could take into consideration for your own, and those that are listening. One thing's for sure is we want to challenge. One of the biggest things that we want to do is challenge you to be better for your children, be better for your families, and create a legacy that you could be proud of. I think that's one thing that's important, is that we all build and grow and create something for the next generation. If we don't have children and you're listening to this podcast, we also need you as well. We want your ears. We also want your comments. So don't forget to comment. And we also want to know, one of the things is, how can we help? And I hear a lot throughout the years of how can I help? I don't have children in this age group or that age group. Well, there's different things that we can do, and there's a lot of ways that we can still be very effective and cause an impact on this generation. One thing's for sure is we got to know what's going on. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to dig into it. We just wanted to give an opening view of what's happening, what this podcast is going to be looking for, kind of sharing our hearts and kind of going in the direction that God has shown us. But we want to talk about the kingdom principles that we know and that have been effective, and that are effective yesterday, today, and forever. And if we could just grasp those key principles, things could be so much easier. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So you'll be hearing from us a lot. This is just a quick little intro, and we'll talk to you soon.